カブスの今永昇太投手が9日、日本時間10日、敵地グレートアメリカンボールパークでのレッズ戦に先発登板。6回2分の3を投げ、5安打7三振2失点、防御率 1.96 で5月1日のメッツ戦以来の6勝目を挙げた。また、2番 DH で出場した鈴木誠也外野手は5打数3安打と活躍した。今回はそんな大活躍の2人と勝利したカブスを詳しく取り上げていた番組がありましたので、そちらの翻訳をお届けいたします。それではご覧ください。
Yeah, they really did because it's a division game and they have not played well in their division. And to be able to just, okay, get one in and we'll move on to Tampa. They got a day off so they can relax a little bit tomorrow and then get after it.
Yeah, hitting, as they always say, it is contagious. And for the Cubs, it was contagious early. So you ready to dig into our BL Auto Group breakdown?
I am.
Well, as always, it's presented by the Bob Curcio Auto Group. Joe, the pregame soothsayer. Revisit.
His fastball's kind of flat. It doesn't change zones. Maybe going from real high to real low.
Okay.
He doesn't have a real high arm slot, and then it doesn't have the carry. So I think the left-handed hitters see it great, and I think they'll do damage.
It's almost like you've seen this before or been in a situation similar to this one, Joe, because they saw him well.
Second and third, and Cody Bellinger hits a bullet in the first inning to line out. It looks like, uh-oh, here we go again. But after a walk to Christopher Morel, another fastball from Frankie Montas, and Happ jumps all over it. A bases clearing double, and it was like, and then Cody got his revenge in the second inning on another fastball. He found a hole. He had to hold the runner on first base, so he found that hole. And Frankie Montas only lasted an inning and a third, and after Cody delivered that hit in the second, it was time for the showers.
Absolutely, and to see the Cubs offense spring to life, but to only see that in the first 2 innings, that's a good sign, but also still something you want to keep your eyes on.
Yeah, but I love that they came out and started fast, especially after they had been struggling and lost some one-run games in this series. And for them, I thought it allowed Shota, who has struggled a little bit his last 2 starts, to relax a little bit and just go out and pitch. So he goes out and puts up a 0 in the first inning with two strikeouts. Michael Tuchman had a good day.
He did.
Got behind in the count to start the game 1-2, ends up with a walk. Seiya comes back, which was great. He doubles in the first inning, and then they got things going with Ian Happ's hit.
Joe, as a catcher and a skipper, when your starting pitcher goes out there and he gets a nice cushion of support, 3 runs in the first frame, how much easier does that make it for them to navigate the waters?
Even though pitchers will talk about, you know, they don't worry about the offense. They're worrying about just putting up zeros. They know that when an offense is struggling, that they can't afford to make a mistake. Well, you go out with a 3-0 lead, and all of a sudden you say, man, I got a little breathing room. I can use my split. I can use all my pitches here. If I walk someone, it's not the end of the world. He had 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Didn't have another one until the 4th, but ended up with 7 through 6 2/3 innings.
It doesn't appear as if you don't have to pitch as sharp. You can be just a little bit off to one side or another when you do have some offense up there on the scoreboard.
You have a little room for error, and it's hard to pitch. Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
when
take a bow. As soon as he did it, we were like, oh,
yeah.
Soda, all right.
Yeah.
Pitching with a little flair.
Maybe he sneezed. And I said, well, if the media asked me, I wasn't showing anyone up. That's what I did. I sneezed.
Okay, so for Shota Imanaga to go back out there, what does this do not only for the Cubs, getting them back in the win column, but for Shota and his confidence, Joe?
Well, I think for Shota it was big because he had struggled a little bit his last 2 outings, given up a number of home runs. But for the Cubs, it's like, you know, we are a good team, and we can do this. And then every team goes through it where you just struggle, and it's really frustrating. But you got to remember who you were in April. You were really good in the month of April, and you were second in runs scored in all of baseball. Just get back to being consistent. Get people back in line. You saw what happened when Seiya came back. The offense exploded in the first inning. They need to keep their guys healthy and just get on a little roll.
And when a team is slumping just a little bit, do you think that you see each and every guy try to do just that much more because the expectations, they're heightened just that much more?
Well, I think the weight, especially when runners in scoring position, because it's been talked about so much, each guy that fails, it gets a little heavier on the next guy. They kind of feel that pressure, the weight on their shoulders. I got to come through. No, just do your job. Just put up a good at-bat, and we'll take whatever, you know, you get. But as long as you're putting up good at-bats, good things eventually are going to happen. And as long as you're getting base runners on, you're eventually going to score.
And you said good things, they will eventually happen. In addition to Shota and his good day out there on the hill, we saw some good things come out of that bullpen. Mark Leiter Jr., Hector Neris, when the phone rang, they answered it.
Well, their defense was good, and then Mark Leiter came in and got the last out in the 7th, a strikeout with a runner in scoring position. Yeah, it was huge because 4-3 is a lot different than 4-2. There's less room for error. He breezes through the 8th. Hector breezes through the 9th, and you got to give Mark Leiter a lot of credit. he comes in a lot of situations when runners are in scoring position, and it doesn't seem to phase him. And then Hector was really consistent, got a couple strikeouts with his fastball, and then gets a ground out to end the game with his split. He beat him with some fastballs because he does throw a lot of split fingers. Yeah. And he read the swings, and he beat the Cincinnati Reds today.
Yeah, less than favorable situations for MLJ to come in when there's runners out there on the base paths and there's an out that still needs to be had. He has been that guy so far this year. That's a tough job.
Every manager loves having that guy. That guy you know that you can bring in when there's traffic on the bases and his heartbeat is not going to change. It's not true for all pitchers.
He's the extinguisher.
Some pitchers want to start clean innings, and I get that. I mean, I would want a clean inning too. And you feel bad about giving up your buddies' runs. You feel bad about giving up runs because they get closer. There's a lot of things that go through, a pitcher's mind when you come in with traffic. But Mark Leiter, it doesn't faze him.
Mark Leiter Jr., he puts those flames out. He's the proverbial fire blanket. Each and every single time something breaks out, call him out of the barn doors and let him go out there and cook, just like Ian Happ did. We know he always likes to produce in Cincinnati, but the prior 3 games to today wasn't able to get it done. Blue Cross Blue Shield sound up. Here he is with Elise.
Ian, back in the win column, avoid the sweep. How big was this win for this team today?
Yeah, I mean, we've played really competitive games, just been on the wrong side of them. So to get up early there, and Shota did a great job. Defense did a great job all day. Nice win to go on the flight with.
Your swing, a big part of getting up early there. I'm curious, when you go to the plate, the mental side of it, when you guys have struggled with runners in scoring position, what are you telling yourself to come through with a big hit?
Yeah, I mean, you're just trying to keep the same approach, trying not to have anything change that situation. You really focus on your process, your plan against that guy, and just committing to it. Nice to have that one fall. Some good swings for me this series. Didn't get down, so it's good to have that one.
And a big play in the 7th to get that guy at second. What's your read on it to get the big out?
Yeah, I mean, that situation, you're just trying to keep that runner off second base to keep the outplay situation for us. So good throw right in the bag. Bodie did a great job of getting that tag on the body. Guys are sliding in, limbs going everywhere, trying to avoid getting to the base, and he went straight to the chest. It was a good play.
And you had referenced it, a team win today. You had Shota with a solid start, Leiter coming in, Neris shutting the door. How big was the performance from the pitchers when you needed it most?
Yeah, I mean, they did a great job. Shota went deep into that game and gave a chance to just use 2 arms at the back end. Hector's been great all year. Light's been great all year. They did their job. It was a fun one.
Ian, not surprised that I'm talking in Cincinnati after a game. Thank you.
The mayor of Cincinnati, Ian Happ, ladies and gentlemen. A warm round of applause as he goes into the clubhouse there. And you see, seeing red, he is an angry dude when he digs in that batter's box at Great American Ballpark. When you're on a full-screen graphic with Barry Bonds, Larry Walker, Albert Pujols, you're doing something right because they have bronze busts in Cooperstown, and that is not too shabby. Happer on a collision course with potentially a 3rd Gold Glove. Game 4 of a 4-gamer. Top of the 1st, and why don't we start it off with
bases loaded
himself with bases junked, Joe?
This is huge. With 1 out after Cody Bellinger lined out to first, he hit a bullet. It looks like here we go again. We're going to struggle with runners in scoring position. Happ drives them all in with that double in the right field corner, and the Cubs take a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, like I said, it's like a family reunion, like Inwood Park, right in Joliet. Everyone hanging out. It's a family reunion.
Come on down.
Yeah, there's the T-shirts with the trees on it. You know the deal. A 3-steak day for Happer. Cubs up 3-0. Mike Talkman, as the game would progress. See the ball, hit the ball, grabbing some outfield grass. That'll push one across.
Yeah, he just hit a split. He didn't try to do too much. He knew he had to slow his swing down. And after Amaya doubled, he drives him in with that single. And the Cubs are up 4-0.
That's friends helping friends. And with that 4-0 cushion, Shota would go out there and work. Stuart Fairchild, that's a punchy. Jamer Candelario, another one. He had 7 on the day. He was dialed in, Joe.
Yeah, I thought he threw the ball really well today. And he got Friedel with a couple of those sweepers to strike him out twice today. He got Luke Maile after he hit a home run. He got Chad Fairchild again. So he had a really, really good day. A day that the Cubs needed.
And you went over on the strikeouts. He gave himself a warm round of applause. Thanks to your knowledge. Bottom 7, in some trouble. Reds threatening Spencer Steer. He would come home to score, but Ian Happ, one of the reasons he's on that collision course with the 3rd Gold Glove, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge play because it made a 1 out, and Shota was able to strike out T.J. Friedel to make it 2 outs with a runner on third. It would have been 2nd and 3rd, nobody out, but it changed the whole complexion of the inning because of his accurate throw to second base.
Shota throwing bullets on Friedel. That would enter Mark Leiter Jr. into the game, and he punched out Jake Fraley, inning in the mud. Bottom 9, Joe's guy at the ready. Hector Neris trying to get the save. Spencer Steer, later for you. Jonathan India, same fate. And then Espinal, let's just make this one democratic. Ground baller.
There were so many pitchers that threw the split for the Cubs today. I think it helped Hector a little bit at the end because he's another guy that throws a lot of split. Today was Forky Day.
Okay, Cubs, they get the W 4-2 on Forky Day. I don't know if that's necessarily a national day if you were to check the calendar, but either way, as long as it can yield a Cubs win, that is what you're looking for. 4-2. That is how it all went down at Great American Ballpark. And if anyone's smiling about that, when you know it has to be the skipper, especially with the way that Shota threw. Craig?
Yeah, I mean, we pitched really well today. Shota was great. Two relievers were excellent. And Shota just kind of was the games we've seen this season from him. So pitched really well, and especially just, after the seventh inning didn't start well, I thought kind of limiting the damage there and getting to 2 outs and giving Mark a chance to finish the inning. But he did a really good job in the seventh inning. It was kind of some soft contact, and they stayed on some pitches, did a nice job, but he still kind of controlled it, and that was really important.
And as you mentioned, later coming in, getting some big outs, and same with Nares, of course.
Yeah, great job. Got 7 big outs from those guys, and they both pitched excellent.
How would you describe that tandem and how they've stepped up for you guys, given the injuries to the back end that you guys have had, and just what they've?
Yeah, I mean, they by nature of their jobs, they pitch in close games a lot. But I think we've probably given them less room for error than most, and they've done that's hard pitching like that, but they've done a good job, and both have stepped up and got big outs and big moments, and both the situation's never too big for either of them. They're always in the moment very well, and I think it showed up today.
How nice was it to get on the board early, especially when you showed the first and
Well, we did a really nice job against Montes in the first inning. Really, specifically, we even the first out, Cody's out as a line drive, so he was up close to 40 pitches in the first inning. It was just really good at bats in the first inning, and then we got a big hit. We didn't get a big hit the rest of the day, unfortunately, but to break it open, but getting 3 runs on the board with 1 swing of the bat's a big hit.
Happened and done not good job offensively. He seems looking to step up there and count.
Yeah, it's just you're always trying to get guys on bases in front of the middle of the order, and we did it in the first inning really well. So we need big hits, and we got one there.
It's true that it's starting to super little negatively. Just feels like dude, so such a guy like Shota, where he can kind of just go into attack.
Yeah, I mean it always is more comfortable pitching with the lead. And I thought Shota and Miggy kind of adjusted really well as they went through the lineup and saw guys multiple times. So they were very aggressive early on the fastball. And then as he went through, he sprinkled in some off-speed first pitch. And once he got ahead of hitters, he was really, really good.
So that's the skipper with his assessment of the day's action. He sounds relieved for the W, but one thing you can see is that Craig Counsell not satisfied. He wants some more, doesn't he?
No, obviously you want to start a streak here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you've been struggling since about the first week in May through now, and now you get a good win. You get a team win where everyone seemed to contribute. You had some guys play some positions they weren't used to playing, did a good job. You had good early inning offense.
Yes.
You had great pitching from the starter,
all game,
the setup, and the reliever, and you had really good defense. It's a great combination.
Did you say good and great multiple times in the last few sentences? That's what I thought I heard there. And let's take it up one level. Let's go fantastic, because Joe today, he hit that Circus Sports Illinois triple play. That's why that festive music is the soundtrack right there, you see. And here's how it all came together. Ian Happ, 1 swing of the stick. He gets himself a knock and pushes 3 across. Joe, that wasn't too bad.
I got that out in the first inning, and then Shota got through the 17 and a half outs.
Yes.
He got into the 7th, and the last hitter he faced was his 7th strikeout over 6.5.
That's right, and you said if he can get
Thanks,
this
TJ.
TJ Friel right here, ooh, I would hit and I would strike gold. And Joe, you were right. Hit the nail on the head. It's all about being in those battles before, and you've seen it before, so you know how it goes down, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
All right. Yeah, sometimes easier said than done, but for Shota, he's been in these battles before, and today.
とにかく自分の長所を生かすために高めのまっすぐ、低めのチェンジアップ、それにもう一回立ち返って、投げられて、制球よく投げられたことが良かったなと思いますね。
I think executing better on my, what I'm good at, so fastball up, change up down.
When did you learn from those last two starts that you brought into today?
ここの前の2回の登板で何を学びましたか？でそれをどうやって持ってきましたか？今日の登板に。
でもやっぱり体がベストなコンディションではないとやはり相手に通用しないので、肩、肘、腰とか、全てもう一回コンディションを見直していいコンディションで今日マウンドに上がろうと思ってそれが今日できました。
I think the one thing was, I have to be physically ready at 100%. So like, my shoulder, my elbow, my low back, everything. So, if I'm not, then I'm not going to be able to pitch as well. So it was just, that was a learning process. Just keep working on it.
Shota, how much does it help when you get an early lead, just to kind of help you attack the hitters early on?
早い段階でリードをもらうと、どういう感じに手伝ってくれますか？
あまり試合中はリードのことを考えないですし、勝ってることも負けてることもあまり考えないので、勝ってるからといって負けてるからといってやるべきことは変わらないので、そこまで自分の中でメンタルは変わらなかったです。
If I'm being honest, I don't really think about it too much. If we're winning, if we're losing, my job's still the same. Just go out there and pitch, so that's what I focus on.
Was there anything that you learned when you mentioned taking care of yourself that you did differently before the start to feel good with your arms?
そのフィジカルに関して、肩とか肘とか、それを100% に持っていくために、何か変えたことはやりましたか？
もうビデオとかをしっかり見てどういう使い方になってるかとか、こういう投げ方だからここに疲労が来るとか、そういうのをもう一回おさらいして登板しました。
So I just rewatched a video of me pitching, just kind of seeing my form. A few things, if I'm using my arm this way, that might, cause a lot of stress on the other side. So just kind of figuring that out and rewatching video.
Had your arm and back been bugging you?
腕とか肘とか腰とかはなんかちょっと違和感とかあったんですか？
違和感はないですけど、やっぱりこのスムーズに腕が振れたりとか、スムーズに体が回せたりとか、そういったことが大事なので、そのスムーズさっていうのが今日の登板には戻っていたかなと思いますね。
Yeah, it wasn't really bugging me at all. It's just I wanted to make sure, I can rotate smoothly, with my torso, with my arm, and so I feel like that came back for this outing today. So I think that's what I worked on.
The more that you're in this league and hitters are seeing you, what are you finding is the key to making adjustments and so you can be yourself?
ここにメジャーに長くいることで、バッターもそういういろいろ調整してきますけど、その挑戦に対して自分が成功するための要因とは何ですか？
いろんな人のアドバイスを受け入れるっていう、それが一番大事だと思っていますし、今回の2週間もトミーとモスコス、おそらく僕のビデオをたくさん見てくれて、そして、通訳のエドウィンも僕のビデオを見て彼なりのアドバイスをくれたりとか、彼ら3人がいなければ、今日いい登板ができなかったので、そういった他者のアドバイスを聞き入れるってことが対応していくことだと思います。
I think what's important is, listening to advice from other people. So like Tommy, pitching coach, Moscow's, as well as my interpreter. I think just getting advice from different guys, and everybody has their different point of view watching the same video. So I think just incorporating that, listening to that, and then kind of using that is important.
How important was Miguel Amaya today for making adjustments in the middle of the game, kind of changing how you were attacking in early count situations?
そのアマーヤがその試合の半ばぐらいの調整に、その早いカウントでの調整とかはどれほど大事でしたか？
彼、その試合終わった後にいつも話し合って、あの球はどうだった、この球はこれだから選択したっていうのをいつも話し合ってるので、多分僕の特徴も分かってくれて、彼なりの調整をしてくれたので、すごく投げやすかったですね。はい。
Yeah, so it was really, easy to pitch to him today. After the games, pretty much any start, we discussed, what worked well, what should we work on, and he knows how I like to pitch. So just kind of reviewing that, it helped me a lot.
Just in general, how good does it feel to get out of here with the win, the way the last 3 games went?
ここ3試合の結果からして、今日勝って、次の遠征に向かうっていうのは、気持ち的にどうですか？
でもやっぱり、勝つか負けるかってやはり勝った方がすごく気分もいいですし、僕が一番重視しているのは自分が投げた登板でチームが勝ったか負けたかなので、今日はそれに加えて、自分もある程度いい投球ができたっていうのが、 2番目に来ることなので、1番のチームが勝ってよかったです。
Yeah, I think obviously, it feels good to win. The most important thing is the team winning, and then I would say the second thing would be, the game that I pitch. I help the team win. So I think I was able to do that today, so it feels good.
いかがでしたか？ここ最近勝ち星がなく少し心配な状態でしたが、見事なピッチングで6勝目を手にしました。ここからの活躍に目が離せません。このチャンネルは日本人メジャー選手に対する海外のインタビューなどの翻訳動画をご紹介いたします。ぜひチャンネル登録、高評価よろしくお願いいたします。